Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. STARCARD Podcast. Hey everybody, how's that media fast going? Maybe not so well if you're tuned in to a live tarot throw on May 22nd, 2026. It's 7-Card Saturday. We're going to start the show with throwing 7 cards from the retro deck and then inviting the tarot world to share some wisdom with us. Lots of times the tarot world likes to start off the show with an anticipatory set of its own for the things that I'm going to discuss today. We're going to invite the tarot world to share its ideas on the idea of vetting and holding accountable your leaders, right? Do they represent you? I'd like to remind everybody, I hope I remember to talk about this later, about the Iroquois government system, where the men who were the chiefs of the tribes, right, the chiefs of the villages, if the ladies didn't like what he was doing, they would just find a new guy. So that's one, well, I guess I just spoke about right now, right? Oh, we can remember that for later on in the show. Also, we're going to go ahead and praise Ronald Reagan again for his famous line, trust but verify. Hey, everybody, here at StarCard Podcast, we're going to trust and verify with our intuition. Okay. Today also, I'm going to reveal some of my own Anunnaki programming, my desire to seek someone to tell me what to do. I need a leader. I need someone to tell me what to do. I'll just do it, okay? But tell me what to do, right? Guess what? That doesn't fly anymore, everybody. So I'm going to meet head on with the tarot cards. And then, oh yeah, when that's all done, where's my poster? When that's all done, it'll be time for tarot for the audience. If you're tuning in live and you want a tarot reading for the second part of the show, please check the top of the chat. I've written some instructions, including type in all capital letters, tarot, please. And then in about, I don't know, maybe 45, 50 minutes, I don't know, I'm kind of long-winded and verbose. Anyway, we'll check it in the second part of the show, and I'm happy to throw cards for everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching the recording if you're watching the recording. We're going to try to make it worth your while. Here comes 7 cards for 7 Card Saturday. Let's go to the tarot cam. Here comes the retro deck. Please stand by. Okay, almost there. Good. Great. All right. Yeah, I saved the big reveal for you, everybody. So check this out. With the retro deck, it comes with these little card holders. So you can stick a card and it stands straight up. But that doesn't help us. We got the tarot table down here. I just wanted to share that with you in case you were interested in checking out this deck. That's some of the accessories that come with it. And I know everyone's probably just as anxious as I am to bust out the fantasy color deck, but stand by, young ladies. We're going to hand the cards over to the retro deck. All right, here comes the retro deck. The retro deck has a book, which I haven't had an opportunity to peek at yet. I probably shouldn't have phrased it that way. I have selected not to look at it just yet. Got other priorities. What just dropped out here? Who is this? It's the world card. Check out that world card. I don't have to use my fingers to cover anything up, right? That's graceful and demure. Thank you very much. But the retro deck, stunning images. Check out the Ace of Wands there. That looks like the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, yeah, we saw this one in biology class, the Three of Swords. Okay, well, we're going to put that one away. Here we go. I'm going to move the accessories out of the way. All right, tarot world. I'm so glad that we agreed to turn on the camera today. Would you like to start off the show with 7 cards from the retro deck, please? Sharing some kind of wisdom, maybe something to do with the Pope or Gorgonzola cheese. maybe just the wisdom in being silly and having fun and enjoying some sunshine sometime on your Saturday. Here comes 7 cards for Saturday. Well, I did say 7, but those guys came out together, so we'll read them together. Seven cards Saturday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 2 more. Here we go. Wow, they came out together too. All right, everybody. This is for entertainment purposes only. Thanks for watching the show. Let's have some fun. First up, it is the King of Wands. This is the big picture. Then we have the Page of Wands and the Emperor. Sorry, the Empress. Sweet. Okay. Page of Wands and the Empress. Now that you're fully composed and in control of all your emotions, your light and your dark side, the Page of Wands says there's limitless potential. The big picture is all you people tuning in and expanding your consciousness. Now's a good time to run with it. Okay. You know what to do. You've seen the magic happen. You've witnessed it for yourself. Not what Breakaway Ray does, what you're doing in your own life. You create your own reality. That's the big picture. See the light? All right. So next in the message, what a rich message already, right? From the retro deck. Wow. So we have, oh, wow. We have the Ace of Cups and the Lovers card. You can read it any way you want, but the Ace of Cups talks about romance, birth, proposals, new life. Okay. And the Lovers talks about, deep love. But here with me, it means like cosmic love. So, your ability to see the big picture, to compose your thoughts and monitor them and regulate them and your energies and your aura and your emotions, that opens up all kinds of opportunities for you to manifest things because you're working in conjunction with cosmic love. You're working with Source. You are Source. You're being a God. You're being God yourself. So in conclusion, says the Audacious Retro deck, wow, that is, sorry, everybody, my light's way up here. I just want to verify 8 of Swords. Yep, that's what I thought. And the 9 of Swords. Sorry, 10 of Swords. Okay. Check out this crime scene. Love the retro deck. It's the 8 of Swords, which says as much as you can imagine. And the poor guy, 10 of Swords over there. I feel bad for that guy. He got the wrong acupuncture specialist. Okay. The 10 of Swords says the difficult times are over. So guess what, everybody? A happy message. As much as you can imagine, the hard times are over. Considering the power of our consciousness when we channel our emotions and use that energy in constructive ways in conjunction with floating everyone's boat. All right, there's your big picture for 7 Card Saturday. Thank you, Terra World. Thank you, Retro Deck. That's like a glass of prune juice in the morning. Really get you going. I'm going to give these a toss. All right, I see we have an active chat already. I'm grateful to my friends all over the planet who are tuning in today. Let's see if I can make somebody smile today. All right, coming up here. I got notes. All right, so I have been reticent to speak about lots of the blessings in my life because I don't feel like it's anybody's business. If people wanted to see how awesome I think everything is, they would go to my Instagram site, which I do not have, or they would check out my Facebook page where I post all the time, which is not true. And that's fantasy. Okay. I don't do that. Okay. So, but anyway, I got a real commitment here at StarCard Podcast. And maybe if I share some of the ways I celebrate, okay, and some of the joy that I have on this side of the camera, right, that'll lighten someone else's day. I mean, if you really do enjoy looking at other people's successes and happiness on those other social media platforms, good for you. So if you're patient, or if you're watching a recording, if you check out the AI summary or the AI transcript, okay, you can read about it. But I'm going to share some things that have been successful, because I was in the classroom and as an elementary school teacher for more than 30 years. And thank goodness I behaved in such a way that people regard me with some esteem. One parent put it this way, she bumped into me at the juice shop and she recognized me, and, sometimes I get treated a little bit like a hero, a celebrity that is. And she said, the kids revere you. I remember she said that because nobody uses the word revere. Are we talking about Paul Revere? So anyway, back to, I got a long series of situations which characterize me as a celebrated individual, a celebrated and respected individual. That's way better than the way I come off in the Convoluted Autobiography, which is listed in the description, by the way, with my other book, Let's Go Off Planet with Breakaway Ray. That's right. First, there's a Convoluted Autobiography, and the next thing Breakaway Ray wants to do is get off planet. All right. So let's go on to another one of my stories. Stand by. I want to stand by, please. Makeup issue. Take a time out. Very quickly, I think something's going on, and I've seen this happen with someone I observe on social media who's also a tarot card thrower. When my nose is itching, I think I'm getting like approval. So here I go, everybody. Let me check my notes. All right, so I'm going to be telling stories about people who behave respectfully and in a respectful manner. And I really appreciate that. And now I'm going to tell you about a time when I was a 5th grade teacher in the 1990s. And in my class, I had, I'm only going to use their first names. Pardon me. By the way, these 2 students I'm going to talk about now, these guys got to be like at least in their late 30s, maybe even in their 40s by now. But anyway, so one boy's named Scott, and he got a baseball cap, and I think he even got it for his birthday, and it was his favorite team. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, he wouldn't, people are going to, I mean, again, I'm going to tell the story. People can make up their own minds about how regimented they feel Breakaway Ray's class was for elementary school. Remember, this is a different day. I realize, this would be a hard sell today, period. Anyways, back to my story. I was encouraging students to take their hats off in class. And I want to point out, and I always did with my class, by the way, that it was like not even fair, because the boys always had to take off their hats because they were boys. The girls didn't have to do it because they were ladies. And then, you know what, whenever I pointed that out, all the girls would just go, you know what, the boys have to take off their hats. We're taking them off too. All right. How's that for women's lib, 1970s? So anyway, shout out to the ladies. Thank you. Anyway, this boy really liked his hat. He had it on his desk. I really needed him to pay attention to his work. It was not his best suit, but he was paying attention to that hat, and he kept putting it back on just because it felt comfortable. And then it required me to revisit the subject of taking off the hat in class. So I said, hey, Scott, why don't you take that hat? Go put it on my desk, please. I promise nothing's going to happen to it. It's on my desk. You can see it. Nobody messes over there. Nobody goes over there in Mr. Breakaway's country. So now I'm going to interrupt my story and talk about my country, quote unquote, in the classroom. I'm an elementary school teacher. Okay. It's a crowded room. Got more than 30 students. All those desks. And that's not all the stuff you need. You need a lot of other space to do a lot of other stuff. So anyway, I take some colored tape and I put the tape around my table where I work. and I have like a line where the students can stand. So they put their toes on the line when we're discussing their work, and I do everything upside down for them like I do for you now with the tarot cam. And then that taped area goes along, I don't know, 15, 20, 25 feet along the perimeter where my file cabinets were and things like that. Everybody knows you stay out of Mr. Breakaway's country. Okay, so can you believe? I'm going to tell you what my principal thought of that. Okay, but then I'm also going to say that this happens with all my stories. There may be a success or something good or something praiseworthy, and somehow it gets turned upside down. But yet at the same time, hey, lots of people are watching this show. You might agree with this principle. You might agree with this principle that anybody who takes some colored tape, 3 different colors, red, white, and green, the colors of the Italian flag, and tapes off his section of the room, and the children are not allowed to cross that line, okay? And he calls it his country, okay? My principal was dressing it up like this person is not fit to be in the classroom, okay? He's got mental issues. Did you see his country, his little tape? He thinks it's Italy. Okay, so I could take every one of these things and, revert back to what their perspective was, because that's what it was like for me. I always had to figure out, why are they behaving this way? What is the problem? I don't get it. Pardon me. We may need to take another time out sooner than I thought. So we got to go back to the story of Scott. He puts the hat on my desk. So now the hat has a lot of energy, right? Everyone in the class knows about Scott's hat. Now the hat has an esteemed place on the teacher's desk, which is a no-fly zone. No one's allowed to go there. The hat has as much attention and energy as the teacher right now. Anyway, somehow, when no one was looking, the hat went missing. I can't believe it. I don't understand it. I was protecting the hat. How could that possibly have happened? And Scott had a suspect, and his name was Paul. I cannot say if Paul took the hat. I can't say it. I don't know. And I'd like to talk about Paul in a moment, but let's stay on Scott's story. So the hat went missing, and I don't know what to say. I had my hat in my hand, so to speak. I'm all, Scott, this is terrible. And I gave him money to buy a new hat, just right out of my wallet. Of course, I didn't go talk to the principal about it. Naturally, I talked to the parent about it. The parent was like a nice man. He was like a member of one of the boards on the city, an important guy in the community. But that's not why I gave the money to the kid. I'm like, dude, I was responsible for that hat. Okay, I'll pay for that with my fat teacher salary. Anyway, let's go forward now. It's the early 2000s. I'm on a local co-ed softball team. And turns out the referee is young Scott, and now he's in his 20s. And he recognizes me, and I had no problem recognizing him. Even though he's taller, and he's an adult now, I recognize him. Oh, hey. And I didn't even remember the hat story, but he remembered the hat story. And he remembered the hat story within the first 45 seconds of talking to Mr. Breakaway again. He's not wearing a tie. He's wearing shorts and a T-shirt, and he's playing softball. So within 45 seconds is all, I remember the story about the hat and how you paid for it. Isn't that great? Didn't I make a good decision many years earlier to just give the money? Besides the fact that it was something I said to myself, you're going to have integrity, okay? You got to give this kid money for his hat, okay? What are you going to do? Also, it's the right thing to do. It doesn't matter. You'll make more money. This kid's hat, this is his whole life. He's still talking about it, remembers it. It's like an important part of his life. So thank goodness, I made a good call, and I was able to replace that boy's hat. All right, so let's switch to the boy Paul. Why would Scott accuse Paul? Well, maybe both boys had attention issues, and I'm going to say that Paul's family life was more challenging. Not only did he have a single parent, but his single parent was a dad. And hey, yo, men, I'm with you. But in this case, this was a dad who, whatever gender you are, if you're not ready to be a parent, you're not ready to be a parent. And so this guy didn't have a stable home life with his dad, who was a parent. In fact, there was a time during the school year, because he entered the school year later than everyone else. He didn't start the year with us. And then sometime later on in the year, he just suddenly left school, and the word was they all moved to Hawaii. They all moved to Hawaii. And so, we started school one day. Paul wasn't there, and I shared with the class the news. They told me, so I shared it with the class. The story is Paul's in Hawaii now. And, there's the complexion of the class. People are like looking around, Mr. Breakaway doesn't have to pay attention to Paul now. That's kind of like a relief, right? Because he did draw a lot of my attention, because I'm trying to keep everybody on task and progressing. Okay. And again, I'm trying to support all the students I can. So anyway, when I finish telling the students about that, he'll be back. You guys don't think anything about that, because you guys are buying into I can tell the future. But anyway, Paul did come back, as a matter of fact. And well, I guess I'm going to end that story there. Okay. Let's move on to another story. Shall we? I hope you're having fun. Is this why we had to wait 33 years to start STARCARD podcast? I had to build up a library of anecdotes. Okay. But I'm getting somewhere with this. I earned respect with that boy, Scott. And I was respectful to that boy, Paul, because guess what? He came back. It doesn't matter if he's going to come back or not. I'm still going to be respectful. I'm a professional. I'm not going to talk trash about. I don't do that. Well, I do it now, right, Thomas Edison? All right, let me move on here. So I'm moving up to the Gorgonzola Cheese episode. Okay, hang on. Oh, yeah, okay. In 1993, I went to the school where I spent the next 31 years, and I was a 5th and 6th grade combination class teacher. I had 10 or 11 6th graders and 25 5th graders. And yeah, I had to teach 2 grades. But anyway, my very first year there, I had some 6th graders. These would be the very first 6th grade students I had. And well, I had a couple of challenges. I'm laughing. I love them dearly in lots of ways. I'm not even going to say any names, but there was a boy, and he drew a lot of my attention, and a little rough around the edges, born in Inglewood, California. But anyway, that young man, his kid was in my class also, and he's a great dad, and I think he must have been a Buddhist in a previous life. He's very wise. He's been very supportive. So I actually see him on a regular basis. How about that, right? How about that? Take that, Jaime Escalante. Okay, and then there's another one. If you did your homework, you could actually track down who I'm talking about, because there's newspaper articles about this. There was a young lady who was a 6th grader in my class. I'm going to use the word in a cartoon way. She was a bit of a hellion. She not to say she butt heads with me or whatever, but she was very, determined in her own way, right? Excellent student. Like any good subject program by the Anunnaki, wanted a good leader. Totally went along with directions, but definitely had spunk. And then I later heard, in middle school, things got rowdier or whatever. And then, unfortunately, there was a traffic accident involved. And so now this young lady's in her 40s, and she has traumatic brain injury. And I still go visit her, and we go sit at her table, and I throw tarot cards for her. She actually makes us special handmade stationery cards, and they're very beautiful. And she writes me thank you cards, and she emails them to me. And when I visit, her mom is always there, because someone always has to be there for her now. She's not the same person she was. But what's cool is when she was in 6th grade, she was in our little class play that I wrote. She played one of our founding mothers, but that's something that she remembered. She remembered doing her class play with us. And so we, my friendship with their family has grown, surprisingly. I had her brother and her sister in my class. And so I had the young lady I'm speaking about, and then I had her brother, and then, I mean, her brother had a great time with me. We both, it was a great time. I really enjoyed working with her brother, another sharp kid, great artist, whole family, great artists, right? So anyway, the youngest sister was ready to come into my class, and she was getting two different stories, one from her older sister who had Mr. Breakaway, and one from her brother. Okay, even though she and I had a good time and she did a class play and, you know, academically she really progressed, she liked to portray me as, I don't know what you want me to say, I don't know, but it doesn't matter now. She scared her little sister. Her little sister didn't want to go to school. She was waiting for Mr. Breakaway to explode or whatever was going to happen. So her mom actually had to like have a meeting with me where they discussed why that the little sister was having a problem and she was intimidated and scared. And anyway, we solved that problem. And by the way, the little sister grew up and she's a teacher herself and a writer. So anyway, want to tell you, like, you know, a lot of people say, isn't it enriching when you see these kids grow up? Yeah, it really is. It really is wonderful. Okay, so I'm not done telling stories. I hope that's okay. Is the producer mine? Is that okay? Have I got time? Oh yeah, I'm the producer. Yeah, I got time. All right, let's move on. Who's next? Oh, there's 3 6th graders. That's right. So those 2 kids, the little hellion who got in a traffic accident, and the other one, you know, who was born in Inglewood. Okay, they were in the same class. They were like my most dynamic and energetic 6th graders. And then there was another one who was like she didn't want to be the teacher's pet. She just was good at school. She was a hard worker. And it turns out, crazy coincidence, she ended up with her husband and their 2 children buying a house like, you know, 2 streets away from me. And she's been, you know, very supportive as I've made my transition, because she's like, yo, Mr. Breakaway, what's going on? Actually, she calls me Ray now. That's a weird thing. Everybody calls me Mr. what my real last name is. When people call me by my first name, it takes everybody off guard because everybody calls me Mr. Breakaway, even the grown-ups. That's the point. That's the point. All right. And we don't have to be at school. But you know what? When we're not at school, well, nobody's at school anymore. You can call me what you want to call me, just so long as you call me. All right. So let's move on. I talked about those 3 6th graders. They're still part of my life. Okay. They're still part of my life. How lucky for me. How lucky for me. Right? I tried the best I could. I invested my time and energy, and it paid off like a savings bond. I bought low and paid off in interest. All right. Can you feel the love? Okay, let me move on. There's another kid. His name is Jake, and I'm not going to say his last initial, but this guy named Jake, he had such a good time with me. He was a 4th grader that he said, you know, what other students have told me before, that they would like to have Mr. Breakaway for a teacher every year. And, you know, that's great. We can all celebrate the good time that we had together. That's very flattering. Does it boost my morale? Yes. Does it inflate my ego? I hope not too much, because I got to be proud of what I did. Okay, we're not jettisoning, you know, all those great experiences. The way you behave like a positive role model, in addition to whatever role models and parents they had at home. You know, you can see it paid off. These kids are on the right track. They got good study skills, good work ethic. They're responsible. They're polite. They're courteous. Let's move on. All right. So now I want to tell you about another kid. Yeah. So if you look at all the kids I tell you about today, a lot of these were like dynamic, and then they were like you know, challenging customers. Let's put it that way. This boy's name was Ryan, and Ryan was in 1993. Well, it had to be between 1994 and 95, right around there, middle of the 90s. I'm teaching an accelerated 6th grade math group. So the other 6th grade teachers and I, we skill grouped. You can have your pedagogical discussion about whether or not that's a good idea. I happen to think it was a good idea. So anyway, I had the accelerated group of 6th graders, and that included these gifted and talented kids. And this included this boy named Ryan, who was in the stratosphere with math. I'm pretty sure he could blow me out of the water. He knew stuff I didn't know. He was having mathematical conversations with his dad, and I'm sure I couldn't even touch. I maxed out at 6th grade math. Not going to tell you that story. Does involve me moving around to different schools from, when I used to live in New York out here in California. But anyway, Ryan did not dig my attention to detail. And one of the things I used to say in general was like, nobody would know Albert Einstein was a genius if he didn't write it down and make it so other people could read it. Okay. You may be a genius and you may have figured out the right math answer, but if you didn't put the decimal point in, okay, you're way off. So, it's important, while we have the chance, practice good school etiquette. Don't forget your decimal point. Don't forget your comma. We're working with commas right here. I don't care what they're going to do in 7th and 8th grade. I'm getting you ready now. We're studying the periods and place value. That's why we're putting the commas in. And by the way, you need to say these numbers out loud. I mean, if you can't say the numbers out loud, how can you communicate about it? So anyway, you heard some of my spiel, right? So anyway, Ryan and I didn't have a good time. He was very emotional. He would get things wrong on the test, sometimes because he actually figured out the wrong answer because he wouldn't do the work. And then he selected the wrong bubble. And that was his fault. It wasn't me complaining about a comma. Okay. He actually fell into a trap that I was trying to prevent him from falling into. And I hope it was like a valuable lesson. But I can tell you, he wasn't happy. He would go home and complain to his parents. His parents were trying to be patient with him and supportive. They called for a meeting with me. Okay, but let me tell you how the story goes. So I heard some years ago, about 15 years ago, while Ryan was a dad and he had a wife, he had 2 kids. He was somewhere up in the Midwest. Well, he did pass away. He passed away. And I got an address somehow, and I sent a sympathy card to his parent. And to my surprise, they wrote back. And when they wrote back, they said, they were obviously very happy to hear from me. And the thing is, they say that Ryan never stopped talking about playing bocce. That's what he remembered. Not the little math thing, playing bocce. He wasn't even in my class. All right. A lot of kids learn how to play bocce from Mr. Breakaway. Okay. So yeah, bocce ball. That's right. Okay. So let me see what else I got going on here. I think I have 2 more. 3 more. Okay. I got 3 more. I'm one of those crazy teachers who lived in the neighborhood where the kids came from to go to school. I got a good bargain and I bought the house at the right time. And it happened to be in the neighborhood. And by and large, 99.6 99. Let me start over again. 99.675% of the time, it was wonderful. And it was darling and adorable. And everybody and all their families, they were respectful and courteous. It was a good time, right? So anyway, here I am. I'm living in the neighborhood. I like to ride to the local park. It's not that far away. It's a 5-minute bicycle ride. And then I go take a hike. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, I have my friends up. I'm all, come check out my house. Bring your bikes. We'll go take a ride to the park, which is what we did. By the way, this park, you can ride your bike to the beach. You can ride your bike to the beach through something called Sycamore Canyon in Point Mugu State Park. And it's not far from where my house was at the time. So in my 40s, everybody, when I was in my 40s, I'm heading out of my 50s now. But every birthday, which is Christmas Day, I would ride my bike to the beach and back. If it wasn't, if I didn't do it at all year, I at least I did it at least on my birthday. First, I did it with like a regular bike, no motor. And the last couple, I used the motor. Now I got one of those motorized bikes. All right. So anyway, my friends come over. They bring their bikes. And then me and all my friends, we like head out. I close the garage. We're all riding the bikes down the street. We're going to head out to the park. Lots of kids in the neighborhood seeing me ride by. They're all, hey, Mr. Breakaway. They're all waving to me. And then all my friends are like, dude, you're like the mayor of this town. you know, you like The Godfather, and yeah, it was pretty. It's pretty. But that was like a normal thing. I'd like ride around, and little kids would be all, "Yo, Mr. Breakaway, I saw you at school." So I want to share that part. Again, people behaving normally, respectfully, in a friendly way. It was nice. It was community. Thank God. I know. I wanted to make the sign of the cross, so I did it anyway. Why not? It's on video. It's going to be a long show. All right. Who else have I got here? Oh, okay. So at the school where I worked, we would present a scholarship from our PTA, our Parent Teacher Association. We would present a scholarship check to a graduating senior at the high school who used to go to our elementary school. And I used to stay focused on the positive here. I used to be part of the group that evaluated and ranked the applications so that we would decide, who would get the scholarship reward. I also used to give the speech and present the check. It was awesome. That was a lot of fun. But anyway, I was reading one scholarship application. They were all amazing. And this one kid, don't ask me how, he was never in my class, but I used to do a thing called Science Olympiad. It was for all the 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, and then it was for all the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. If you ask any of those kids who participated in Science Olympiad where their medal is, they'd be all, yeah, I know exactly where it is. It's in my closet. I got it in this box. They still have their medal from Science Olympiad. I promise. 99.675% positive. So anyway, oh yeah, one application was all from this one kid. He was talking about Mr. Breakaway and Science Olympiad, and he said, he's the one reason why I got into laser sciences. Wow. Okay, so a little bit of inspiration there, a little bit of inspiration from doing a good job, being a principled educator and treating other human beings with respect, appropriate respect, considering their age, right? Okay, well, thank you very much for that shout out, young man. All right, and who else have I got here? Right, this is another good story. Is this my last one? Yeah, it's my last one. People behaving respectfully. You want this kind of like good talk in the background. So check this out. I got a 3rd grade parent conference. I'm sitting at the table with a 3rd grade boy and his mom. Very nice people. I mean, I can say that about everybody. We're having a good time. But then the mom says, I got to tell you a story. All right. So she's standing behind some middle school kids in a coffee shop. They're all in line waiting to get a coffee. And these middle school kids are like, miserable. They're complaining about this teacher and that teacher. And this sucks, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a pause. And then they all suddenly, like, there's a breath of fresh air. And they go, but you know what? That Mr. Breakaway was awesome. That guy was so cool. And then, like, so the mom heard that before she came to my parent conference. That's pretty cool, right? And it puts someone in a good mood. My son's teacher has got a good reputation. Got some street cred with the middle school kids. So thank you very much. You know what? All right. As long as I'm grouping them all in, I don't know if I put this in the Convoluted Autobiography, but, I think and I feel things pretty intensely. And so anyway, I'm driving down to San Diego and I'm not having a good ride. This is way before Media Fast, but I know on this ride, I'm turning off the radio. I got something bothering me. Got to figure out what it is. Didn't figure out what it was. But anyway, by the time I get down to San Diego, I get to my friend's house. He's not home. I'm waiting outside and I'm pretty miserable and I'm pretty upset. I'm pretty sad. Let's put it that way. And well, you know what? They have these websites now where, people like put in business about teachers. And so I went to a website that I'd heard of and I Googled myself. I looked myself up on this website, and some awesome kid said, Mr. Breakaway, one of the greatest teachers known to man. That's how you lead it off. So, and I got to tell you, that changed my mood in a hurry. And it really helped me out. That was a well-timed, well-placed comment. So I think the message I was going to get to for everybody is that it's really important if you have teachers or mentors who did something for you, reinforce their good behavior. Praise them for their good behavior, just like they would praise you if they were acting like your teacher. Keep up the good work, everybody. Thanks for letting me share those happy stories. Okay. Let me see what else I got going. A tarot thrower, a paper thrower. Let me see what's on this paper here. Oh, I'm ready to talk about the Pope. Okay. All right. I'm ready to talk about the Pope. All right. I got a couple stories about the Pope. I'm talking about not a particular Pope. I'm talking about the office of Pope, the figure that we recognize as Pope. I'm real proud and excited that the Pope is from the United States. Wow, that's amazing. An American Pope. Congratulations to the new Pope. Is it Pope Leo? I think it is Pope Leo. All right. Anyway, keep up the good work, Your Eminence. Okay, so in the night, I'm going to say it's like the early part of the 21st century. I was in the staff room. So yeah, early 2000s. Okay, I was in the staff room at work, elementary school, and I was with this one lady who happened to teach at my grade level. And in my book called The Convoluted Autobiography, I refer to her as Sherry Lam, but no relation to the great actor from the Pink Panther movies, Herbert Lom. That guy was awesome as Inspector Clouseau's boss. Okay. Anyway, so I'm talking to, I don't know why I'm even in the staff room. I don't even know why I'm there. But anyway, maybe I'm just getting my mail. I can't believe I'd be sitting down talking to these people. But so I'm getting my mail. It's like lunchtime. It's like my chance to collect my mail, my cubby. Okay. People are talking. And so anyways, Mrs. Lom is there. And she's not Catholic, and that's fine too. But I, on the other hand, I used to be an altar boy when I was a little kid. I am culturally Roman Catholic, whether or not I believe in God or any of the stuff the Catholic Church says. It's like a big deal to me to have this costume of Roman Catholicism. It's almost like my altar boy gown. Okay, it's like a costume I wear. It's part of my exterior ego. So, I mean, I'm just telling you how I react when people say these things, and it involves the subject of the Pope. Okay. This is how I react. So anyway, there was some kind of thing on the news, where the Pope made some kind of pronouncement. The Pope not issued an edict, nothing formal like that, but just said, this is the way it is. This is the way the church is going to handle this certain thing. And no, it wasn't about the child abuse. Okay. This is before this. Okay. Or it was not related at all. Let's just put it that way. All right. So anyway, so the Pope makes a pronouncement, but that's like impacting, people in society. The Pope is trying to be a leader. He's trying to say this would be a positive, effective, natural, ordained way of doing things. And that does impact people in a society where, we drive around in cars with gasoline. We pollute at the beginning of the process of getting gasoline, and we pollute at the end when we belch it into the sky. Okay, people like that. You're going to tell people like that to get on the straight and narrow. Anyway, let's move on. So anyway, she says, well, I think we were both watching it. Maybe, I don't know how it happened, but we ended up talking about it. So yeah, let me continue. So there was a news article. I saw the same news video about, the Pope made this pronouncement. And then they went to people on the street here in the United States. They went to people on the street and they said, hey, here's what the Pope says. What do you think about it? Oh, whoa. That's not right at all. Remember, I'm reacting here. Anunnaki programming. It's the Pope. Okay, why are you like undermining what the Pope says? It's what the Pope says. Okay, it doesn't matter what these people think. They are not the Pope. Okay, they're just people on the street. Literally, they're just people on the street. Okay, you're undermining the system. We're supposed to be listening to the Pope. So again, that's how I'm reacting. Why are you doing that? And here's Mrs. Lom. Again, she practices another faith. All right, she's allowed to question, but I'm still rooting for the Pope's team here. Okay, so I got another Pope story here. No, okay, well, let me give you an example of that. Okay. So I'm all upset. The Pope says this. And now in the media and even in the staff room, people are all not listening to the Pope. Okay. They're not listening to the Pope, and they're even encouraging it in the news. They're broadcasting it. This is how you question the Pope. Okay. Now let's pick another religion. Let's pretend it's Islam. Let's pretend there's a Pope of Islam. Now, I have to clarify, there is no Pope of Islam. I want to make sure that's understood. I'm not sure, like a lot of people in the United States understand Islam, and I'm not claiming that I do, but I am claiming to know a little bit more than most people in the United States. Okay. And that's not your fault, my fellow Americans. Okay. I participated in the education system. I know where the faults are. We're going to fix them. But anyway, so let's say, for example, pretend for entertainment purposes only. Let's say, for example, the Pope of Islam, in quotation marks, said, you know what? We are not drawing pictures of Muhammad. We are not drawing pictures of Muhammad. And then people go on the news and they say, well, how do you feel about that? I don't know. What do you mean? Like this? And they start showing pictures. Now, that would be totally inappropriate. You got to know, by the way, especially, hey, listen to what I'm saying. If you're in the United States, it is not okay to draw pictures of Muhammad. Okay. You just stop there and register that. Okay. That was like a dangerous joke I just made. Thank goodness that paper was blank. Okay. But it's like the same thing. You're not being respectful in the first place. You don't need to taunt them. Okay. And put it on the news and undermine them. But I guess, there's I'm pretty sure like the real Pope in the real world in the Vatican City, I think they see, that the organized religion is unwinding. And if you're tuned in to STARCARD podcast, you already see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's only so much religion can do, and it's not helping us anymore. Let's move into the age of Aquarius. We all need to be more participative, okay? And less looking for directions from the Anunnaki. All right. I think we're backing up in time. Yeah. Another Pope story. And I didn't tell you, I didn't even talk about the Gorgonzola cheese yet. This is perfect. Okay. I'm good. Don't let me forget. All right. Because that was on the other paper, one of the two papers I threw on the ground. All right. Another Pope story. Let's go back to the 1990s. I'm pretty sure it was 1990s. All of you are educated on current events. You remember they cloned Dolly the sheep. Remember that? They cloned Dolly the sheep. All right. So here's how I remember things going down in the 1990s. I'm a fifth grade teacher, and I get to share with the class that they cloned Dolly the sheep. Okay. I saw it in the newspaper. I clipped it out. I brought it to class. Maybe I even took it to the copy machine and got a clear transparency. And I put the newspaper under the glass and put the transparency in the drawer and made a transparency for my overhead projector so I could show everyone it really was in the newspaper. They cloned Dolly the sheep. So here I am. They cloned Dolly the sheep, and the tagline on the news was, and the Pope says that's the end of cloning. And everyone agrees. No more cloning. Pope said it. I'm all, wait a second. There's something spooky about this. Everybody's listening to the Pope this time? This must be the first time ever everybody agrees with the Pope. No more cloning. Yeah, no, don't do it. No. We're all going to listen to the Pope. If we were all listening to the Pope, we could have avoided a lot of wars the last couple of thousand years. Okay. So let me check my notes and make sure I got that covered. Because I wrote quite a bit. I don't want to miss any of my jeweled phrases. Okay. Yep, I covered it. Good. All right. So now I got to talk to you about it's another story where I characterize myself as the Pope of Gorgonzola cheese. And then we'll go back to my last bit of notes, let's throw some cards, and then get to tarot for the audience. I'm checking out the clock, and it's 5:22 in the morning where I am on the West Coast. But wait a second. Oh, on my recording, it's 49 minutes in. I see a lot of friendly names in the chat. So glad you could join me. Thank you very much. I'm hoping I'm sharing like the best Breakaway Ray I can share with you on your Saturday morning. Who needs Saturday morning cartoons when Breakaway Ray is throwing tarot cards, right? Okay, so Gorgonzola cheese. Are you familiar that there are 2 different kinds of Gorgonzola cheese? I was informed by my friend and paisan. His name is Mike. He works at the Italia Deli, Italia, on Canaan Road, Kanan, in the zip code 91301. That's right, that's a commercial. So my paisan, my friend, he and I went to the same high school, but we didn't go at the same time. He and his family have been, well, they took over the delicatessen from their parents. They run it now, and it's the best bread ever. And that's something that has followed me like my whole life long. There was always good Italian bread in my life. Always. So anyway, obviously I'm going in the store all the time getting bread. We have a lot in common, Mike and his family and I. And anyway, he educates me on food from the old country. And he's all, there's a difference between imported and domestic. And imported is creamy and smooth. Domestic is hard and crumbly. They both serve a purpose, but for sandwiches, you want the creamy kind because that's fun to spread on that awesome bread at the Italia Deli. All right. So I concocted a sandwich where I put spicy capicola, spicy sopressata, and the imported gorgonzola. And we go easy lettuce, easy tomato, easy onion, easy Italian dressing, awesome Italian dressing at Italia Deli on Canaan Road. Okay. And that's like a created sandwich. My friends call it the Ray. Okay. Now one of my friends has one called the Pat. I can't believe I'm talking about nicknames for sandwiches. These are not on the menu, everybody. But anyway, so I got the Ray going on now. I'm going to share some more. In the 1990s here in California, you were not allowed to have a Super Bowl pool at work because it was illegal. It was illegal to gamble. Okay. And that was gambling and you were not allowed to do it. So guess what? Breakaway Ray, he runs the pool at work, the Super Bowl pool. I'm breaking the law. Dude, I'm taking one for the team. I'm the front. Okay. Can I tell you, there's more than one story, but there's this one lady. I don't know if she knows what gambling is. Well, good for her if she doesn't understand gambling. I don't want to encourage that kind of behavior. But when you do a football pool, okay, you got to like pay for the boxes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry, I'm not going to explain it. But very quickly, there's 100 boxes. You write your name in a box. It's $5 a square, whatever. But anyway, this one lady tells me, she said, well, I will pay you after I win. You could just take it out of my winning. And you know what? When you go to Las Vegas, you don't sit down at the table and say, you know what? I'm going to play a hand and I will let you take my ante out of my winnings. Okay. That doesn't work like that. So anyway, it's fine if they're not familiar. So I guess it's a good thing. Like I'm acquainting them with some part of our society, is an underground part of society. Now in California, there's a law that says you can have a Super Bowl pool. Ain't no big deal. Okay, let's lower the bar some more, California. Where was I going? Okay. So I introduced at my school the Super Bowl pool. Guess who wins the first Super Bowl pool? Breakaway Ray. I won $125. And so what I did was, everyone thought it was rigged. It's not rigged. It's random. Of course, I'm a tarot card thrower. I didn't know what boxes I was picking were winners, but they were. So I won. I won the Super Bowl pool. And I used the winnings and I bought a sub from the Italia Deli on Canaan Road, a big 6-foot sandwich. I had to get 2 of them for everyone. I used the winnings to buy a sandwich for everybody. You know, some people were like upset and they thought that I rigged it. And I'm all, you people are crazy. All right, whatever. Now let's eat some sandwiches together. And then it became like a bit of a tradition. Like some of the, I'll just say the more mature people on the staff are, that's like a good idea, Breakaway Ray. You know, when you win, you treat the staff for camaraderie here. It's not cutthroat. This is elementary school. We're supposed to be working as a team. Right on. So I would buy sandwiches there. And then, all right, here comes the fun part for me. So I get to tell you about my last house where I don't live anymore. Okay, I've shared some pictures in the thumbnails. I guess I'm so sorry. I'm interrupting my story right now. I woke up literally like at midnight today, and I laid in bed like arguing. I'm not turning on the camera. I got nothing to say. I don't want to share personal information. Not gonna do it. So anyway, back to my former residence. You have seen pictures of it, especially like the backyard. It's got a bocce court. It has a pool. Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, because this is how I'm linking it all together. You can see the pool because at StarCard Podcast in the Joie de Vivre playlist, the fun videos, there's a video of my friend's 62nd birthday. Not your regular. This is California 62. Okay, my friend Randy and his son came out, and I have a rolling trailer access ladder. I don't have a trailer. I just have the ladder, right? I had it in the garage where I left it. I don't have it anymore. I have it in the garage, and it helps me get upstairs in the attic in the garage. But during the summertime, my friends and I take it out. We put it by the pool. It's 10 feet high, and we jump off the ladder. Anyway, check out one of my favorite videos is Randy's birthday party. Okay, so I've got the pool. I've got the pool ladder. That sounds like a lot of fun, right? So when I had my friends over and they had all their kids, that ladder had like a lineup, like it was a roller coaster ride. And one of the little kids was counting how many jumps everyone was doing. She like totaled 300 jumps. And every year I would throw a party, she would always like count all the jumps. She was counting everyone's jump. It's always in the hundreds. She got bored after a while. But the first couple times she was all excited about that. Another thing she'd like to do, by the way, she'd like to rake the bocce court. When I had the crushed oyster shell up there, she liked to rake that because it's like that Japanese garden thing. You make it all smooth. Anyway, good for that kid. I'm glad she had a good time at my party. We had a lot of good parties there, but that's the thing, everybody. I wouldn't see my friends all year. And well, that thing where I buy the sandwich for everyone at work, why don't I do it for people I care about? Like my family and friends can all get together. My friends from downtown can come up. My friends from San Diego can come up. We pick a summer day weekend, a Saturday, probably right around July 4th, because we get some extra days off here in the United States. And then my other friend throws a party. Okay, so sometimes we like back-to-back parties. One day at Ray's, one day at my other friend's house. So anyway, but when they come, I'm all, yeah, let's get some big submarines. Let's get those big hoagies, 6-foot-long subs. Okay, everybody enjoy. Treats on me. What's a couple $100? We're all going to remember we're having a good time. Now, here's another reason why I didn't want to share about all this good fortune and all my blessings, because it sounds like I live in a resort. It was really awesome. I don't live there anymore, but I built the bocce court. Okay, I carried all those stones up the hill. I did buy that rolling trailer access ladder. Okay, rather than take a vacation and burn up that cash, I'm like, how can I use it to prolong and make permanent a raycation at my own home? I know, buy a rolling trailer access ladder, multi-purpose. Okay, good fun at the pool. Probably not allowed by my home insurance, which I've canceled. Okay, what else? So, and then I'm buying sandwiches. And then, we got like 40, 50 people having a good time in my house. We got a beanbag toss called cornhole. I used to have horseshoes, but no one played horseshoes, so we never take it out anymore. But definitely the bocce was a big draw. So where was I going with all this? Oh, yeah, the sandwiches. So I would buy the sandwiches and I'd have my friends over. Then, I was having my friends over, and my friend Randy, who's in that video I told you about, okay, he's all, yo, Ray, what's this? Where'd you get this sandwich? I'm all, you don't know about the Italian deli. He's a little bit older than me. But he lived down in the Granada Hills area, and he had his own Italian delicatessen. Randy taught me, I didn't even know about this place, about cavarettas. Are you guys Googling all the stuff I'm telling you about? Cavarettas, Caverettas, cavarettas, another long-standing family-operated Italian delicatessen with excellent bread, slightly different recipe. Italiadelli, I think they're from Bari, B-A-R-I. That's the southeastern region of Italy, the Heelish area. But Cavarettas, my style, Neapolitan. Yo, I walk into Cavarettas, it smells like my grandma's kitchen. But also props to Italian Deli. I like walking in there too. It's funny because I grew up making eggplant parmesan one way, the way my grandmother, who's from the Naples area, taught me. Okay, and then I was talking to Mike about eggplant parmesan. He's all, yo, you don't dip it in flour, huh? I'm on, you dip it in flour? Yeah. I go egg, so flour, egg, maybe flour again, and then breadcrumbs. And I was just growing up, flour, egg, and then breadcrumbs. That's all. That's all we were doing back in my day when I was a kid in the 1970s. So, well, anyway, fun talking about all that stuff. So, I don't have to wait now for a whole year to throw a summertime party to see this guy, Randy, who's been a friend of mine for a long time. He's from a family of brothers, and his brother was in my class. We both graduated in 1984. We're the class of 84. We study less, we party more. So Randy and I start meeting up more, and, we're over at his place. We're watching a baseball game. I think it's like the World Series. And he's ordering my sandwich. So, meet me in my house, but I'm going to order your sandwich. How do you want that sandwich again? I go, listen, you got to get imported Gorgonzola, okay? But you know what? We'll go with turkey on mine this time. I didn't want the spicy salami this time. Just get me the honey roasted turkey, but make sure you put imported Gorgonzola on it. He's all right, no problem. I'll call him up. So he calls him up, and they give him a hard time. He's all, hey, by the way, just for the record, my friend is Irish American. All right, he's got Irish ancestry and a little bit of German ancestry. Okay, but he's getting good at being Italian. I think I already promoted him to Italian. All right, I'm saying that with a wink. Okay. So Randy calls him up. He calls up the Italian deli to place an order. He's all, hey, I want to order a sandwich, and what I want is honey roasted turkey, but I want you to put imported Gorgonzola in the sandwich instead of provolone. And the guy on the phone goes, I'm not sure I can do that. And he's all, well, my friend Ray, this is for him. He gets that sandwich all the time. You've done it before. He's all, that doesn't sound right. You're going to have to talk to the boss. So then the boss gets on the line. It's my friend Mike. And Mike gets on the phone. He's all, hello. He's all, hey, my name's Randy. I want to get a sandwich for my friend. He wants honey roasted turkey, but he wants imported Gorgonzola. And Mike's all, you want imported Gorgonzola on honey roasted turkey? That doesn't sound right. He's all, it's for my friend Ray. I almost said my last name. It's for my friend Ray. And then as soon as my friend Mike heard it was for me, he's all, oh, okay, no problem. We got it covered. Yeah, that's all right. And I like it when Randy tells a story because it's hilarious. When he tells a story, it's like, he just mentions my name and the door opens up. Everything's okay now. We get what you're talking about. So I felt like the Pope of Gorgonzola cheese at that point. I think there's more. Let me see what I got going on. So, yeah, I didn't know. I had to be educated on the two types of Gorgonzola cheese. And now, everybody, now you know if you didn't already know. All right, isn't that interesting? So don't forget to request imported Gorgonzola. All right, it's rich and creamy and smooth and spreadable. All right, it goes good on the sandwich. It doesn't fall out of the sandwich. You're spreading it. Okay, and it's not like those spreadable cheeses you get in the supermarket of the United States. Like 80% of it is color and chemicals. So, come on, guys, you're supposed to be feeding us. All right, hang on. Let me see if I got everything. All right, so I'm going to jump to a Stephen Colbert joke from a long, long time ago. He was talking about the elections, and he was like imploring people to think about who they're voting for. Think about who you're voting for. You want responsible leaders. You want people with a good, what do they say, internal compass, a good sense of ethics, okay? The elections are important. It's not just a popularity contest. And then Stephen Colbert stops him and he goes, wait, the elections are a popularity contest. All right, so we got to take elections much more seriously, and we all need to get ready to participate more. And if that's going to be the case, if we're going to be seeking more decentralization, and I'm not advocating that at all, there's a lot of federal infrastructure we need to keep intact in the United States. There's a lot of good things and a good reasons why we have institutions that we have in the United States. But for sure, people are not following the rules. They're getting up there and they're doing whatever they want. They're almost running amok. And that's because they're just following dollars, or I don't know what they're doing. I'm not reading their minds. Okay. But if we really want to see society transition, if you've been following along with all the things I say here at StarCard Podcast, you have an ability to have sustained attention, right? We want you paying attention to this stuff. And we want people like you who are not going to be distracted to help guide others to make good choices. And we have to remember, again, the Iroquois example that I gave at the top of the show today. So it is said, or so I learned, about the Iroquois people in the Northeast United States, Southeast Canada area, the Iroquois nation. You would have males who were the village leaders, but they were entirely beholden to the females. And if the ladies didn't like what you were doing, okay, you were out, okay? And it's got to be that simple for us. If we've got someone who's violating rules in office, okay, impeach away, okay? We don't need that. We don't have time for that stuff. And the people who need to be doing that are the people that we elected and put in office. A couple of shows ago, I talked about a young aspiring politician who made it to the office of mayor, and then he started shutting down the library and spending city money on inappropriate things, and the community had to rally and totally occupy its own city and take over so that it could re-regulate the system, because it had a good thing going until this guy got in there. So I want to go ahead and check my notes, because we're about ready to throw cards on these topics. How's that all related to the Pope? We always look for leaders. We want people like presidents and senators and congress people and all the other esteemed people who have reached offices, that are important in society. We want to be able to trust these people. We want to be able to count on them and rely on them. And these institutions, we want the best parts of these institutions to remain as we carry over into the new civilization, where we're aware of the other breakaways in space. We're aware of all the other technologies that have been around the whole time. We're not going to get upset about it, because we're only here for a little while anyway. Search your feelings, said Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know it to be true. You've been reincarnated. This is small potatoes. This is just like a ride at a carnival at an amusement park. You chose to come down for the ride. You're going to have a good time. It's going to be thrilling. It's going to be thrilling. You chose to be here. Okay, so don't get all hung up on who you used to be in 2025 or 2017 or in the 1980s. Okay, those were fun. Those egos are passé. Now you have cachet. Get ready for the age of Aquarius. Let's look at my notes here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm happy to see all my friends in the chat. I'm just, when my friend Psychic Liz Cross shows up, it's a big deal. Nice to see you, Psychic Liz Cross. Let me see what I got on my notes here. I gotta get a little starstruck. She's a celebrity. Such good shows. I watch all of them. Well, not the ones about Bitcoin. I don't watch those. All right. Anyway, yeah. Here's some notes that I wrote. I'm gonna read them out loud so I can get my own thoughts recomposed here. Ready? Okay. So, do we want to decentralize and re-democratize society? Right? We want to give democracy a real boost. Okay, because we got a good thing going for so long. Lots of other countries followed our example here in the United States. So we want to decentralize. Sure, let's not get top heavy. And we want to re-democratize society. So do you remember that book I always talk about, Imperial Earth by Arthur C. Clarke? And then one part in the story where they talk about how they select world leaders in the future on planet Earth. They let an artificial intelligence select a person. Person doesn't get paid, but it's the most qualified person to do the job. And they drag that person kicking and screaming into the office, and that person does a good job in office in the hopes that they'll get time off for good behavior until they bring in the next guy or lady, right? The next qualified person to take on that leadership role. And, we don't have to invent new rules. Do we have a constitution? Follow it. Follow the constitution. Okay. You guys could have done the Cliff Notes on the Magna Carta and done just as well. All right, let's continue here. What else I got here? Yeah, I wrote down, it's not a free-for-all, okay? We've got systems. It's the rule of law. It's not a free-for-all. You don't aspire to get to a certain job or position so that you can embezzle. That's not the goal, okay? We don't need, well, enough said there. What else have I got here? Empowering people who want to be empowered is not responsible. Empowering people who want to be empowered is not responsible. Do they have any credibility? Did they put in any time yet? Have they demonstrated any ethics yet? Do you want them to be your leader? By the way, if they're your leader, they're your leader. No, you're responsible for them. Is that your car? Is that your vehicle? Okay, you're responsible for it. All right, what else have I got down here? Yeah. So here's that good part of that Anunnaki programming of mine. I'm looking for a leader, and at the same time, I'm not looking for any leader. I'm not looking for any particular celebrity or actor, or no one person's gonna pull the wool over my eyes anymore. I'm not as naive as I used to be when I was 57. Okay, I'm really looking at people now who are in important positions, and I'm evaluating them as real people. Because come on, these people, they go home. Okay, they have families, they have bank accounts. A very famous English writer named Geoffrey Chaucer, Chaucer, he wrote a famous poem in which there was a situation in which a man who was enamored with a lady snuck over to the lady's home and peeked at her through the window. Are you guys ready for this story? This is what I remember from Geoffrey Chaucer. Or I gotta say, there's more than one. But anyway, here I go. So Geoffrey Chaucer writes of a man who's so enamored with a lady that he seeks to spy upon her, and he peeks through the window at her, and he catches her at an awkward moment. And he catches her going number 2. And that's like a surprise to him. He thought it was so wonderful, but no, she's a human being. She's a human being. It reminds me of a Shakespeare sonnet, number 130. I think it's 130. Shakespeare sonnet, the one that goes, my mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. And he describes how human his lady friend, his crush, his infatuation is. Okay, but, he loves her. You don't have to be a goddess. Nor am I a god, for that matter, right? We're all humans together, big meat sacks, sweating and perspiring, anyway, defecating. Well, what else do I have on my paper? Let me stick to my notes here. All right. So like I said, I'm looking for the leader, and it is really hard for me to look the other way when people behave recklessly. And when I was writing that sentence out, I can't look the other way when people behave recklessly. It characterizes how I did my job at work. People are behaving recklessly at school. Some kids going someplace where they're not supposed to because they're not supervised and it's not going to be safe. I was always over there giving free campus supervision. Okay. I'm like, yo, you can't be here. And likewise, if like some kids unruly in the classroom, I'm very willing to sit down with the parent and the kid and say, hey, let's work this out together. By the way, in where I am, you're supposed to go to the teacher first. And, there's a step, there's a process. You don't immediately go to the principal to have the principal manipulate the teacher so that your kid can do whatever they want in his class. Did I explain that well? It's just even if we have a meeting with the principal and the principal and everybody characterizes me as the bad guy, does that sound surprising anyone? That something like that would happen? The teacher would be the bad guy in this situation. So anyway, you could portray the teacher as the problem, and then you can pretend like we can all just forget about what the kid did. I don't think that helps the kid, okay? Because we're not holding the kid accountable. This is a golden moment to mold their behavior, okay? I like to give the story about the elephant. When you train an elephant, when it's young, you put a big chain around its paw, and then it understands I can't go anywhere. When it gets older and it's an adult, you just put a little rope around it, and it knows I'm not going anywhere. It's plenty powerful to just rip the rope off, but it knows it's been trained. Okay, this is our chance to train while we have a chance, right? Okay, so that was like a problem for me. Every once in a while, that would happen. Every once in a while, from time to time. Yeah, from the time we start school in September till the time we end school in June. That's how often it would happen. All right. What else have I got here? Oh, yeah. But you know what? God bless the kids. They're grown up. Hey, adults, you have no excuse. You have no excuse for acting recklessly. There, I said it on my own channel. Okay. And the excuse can't be that as kids, no one ever told them no. These people, these grown-ups who do whatever they want, they act like rules don't matter and nobody else matters. They're all me first. Okay. They act like, well, I'm excused because that's the way I was raised. My parents never said no to me. It was never my fault. Okay. It's everybody else's fault. I'm so wonderful. So anyway, we're going to lighten the mood now with all those things I had to say. Remember what we talked about when we talked about Gorgonzola, everybody. Okay. But what I want to go to is everybody, I would like you to remember to vet and hold accountable your leaders. Do they represent you? Are they representing you? That's a simple question. Are our leaders representing us? They need to lead us the way the Iroquois chief does, by representing us. They need to be the king of cups, okay? Not an infiltrator, absconding with the treasury. Okay, you know what? You want to know? You don't see everything in the media. They're only going to tell us what we want to hear. They're going to tell us what they want us to know. But you know what? You have intuition. You have expanded intuition. Trust but verify, everybody. Verify with your intuition. Trust but verify. Thank you, Ronald Reagan. I appreciate that great expression. If I knew in the 1980s that I'd be praising Ronald Reagan, the great speaker, the great orator, what was his nickname again? I don't remember. Anyway, congratulations, Ronald Reagan. You win, Mr. Reagan. I live right next to the library. I've been to it. It's a very nice place. Okay, so let's ask the terror world about these ideas, about being responsible for our leaders. Don't just watch it on the news and say, oh, well, I'm tired and go to bed. Come on, step it up, everybody. Let's get ahead of the game. No, Ray, just be flexible and go with the flow. No, let's make a plan. Get ready for double-digit dates. Okay, let's go upstairs, get some lights on here. And we're going to get the Robin Hood Tarot out. I guess I'm just going to throw just this one time. We'll hear from the tarot world on all those concepts I discussed. Maybe not the Gorgonzola cheese part. Brand new deck. Opened it yesterday. Oh, yeah. Let's go downstairs. All right. Let's give these cards a toss. Welcome to the show, everybody. The tarot world has something to say about all those things Breakaway Ray had to say. Trust but verify with your intuition. That's how you're going to win. Okay. Trust but verify. We're going to vet our leaders. If you know a dude is a child predator and he hangs out with a child predator and a child trafficker, and I don't know, do I need to go much farther? What are you guys thinking? Oh, geez. Are we so uneducated that, anyway, all right, easy, Breakaway Ray. You're going to lose some subscribers. I don't know what a MAGA person would be doing here. Also, I would like to get my lights fixed up here. Oh, that's how I like it. Come on. Hide that light. We almost got daylight here. Sorry to keep you in suspense, everyone. No, really, I am. Okay. You know what? Hang on a second. I just touched the mouse. I need to get this part out of the way. Please stand by. That's not it. Okay, I have drawn the line, and I'm going to talk about the line in a little bit. First, the tarot world has been invited to the podium. Trust but verify. Use your intuition. Didn't I mention the King of Cups? I just cut to shuffle. Okay. Yeah, the King of Cups. And we also have the Eight of Pentacles. It's going to take a lot of work for us to vet our leaders. Good. King of Cups, Plato's Philosopher King. We could change that to Philosopher Monarch. Let's face it, we got to have some ladies up there, like the sharp lady over in Iceland. Remember that? Oh, hey, Tarot World, go ahead. Make a comment about leadership and the benefits of positive leadership with integrity. Look at these cards, everybody. I'm still shuffling. Ace of Swords, that's a lot of truth. Six of Swords, we're being guided from rougher waters to calmer waters by divine hand. We're getting a head start. This is like a lead off in baseball, okay? We're ahead of the game talking about this stuff, getting it in our brain, putting it on the table. And then don't forget, you're all supposed to be on a media fast, and I expect you to turn off the computer as soon as I'm done here at StarCard. Okay. I'm just teasing everybody. It's a Nine of Cups. It's a wish come true for me to talk to you. Thank you very much. All right, Tarot World, here you go. This is your chance to tell us. Trust but verify. Thank you, Ronald Reagan. Did you know that he was a lifeguard and he actually rescued somebody? And he was a sportscaster? Wow. The Gipper. Oh, I always used to show the students Bedtime for Bonzo with Ronald Reagan and a monkey. All right. Anyway, but these tarot cards are for vetting and holding accountable our leaders. We want Kings of Cups. We want them to represent us, Iroquois style. So everybody, step it up. You want to be democratized. You want to participate more. Take action. That's right. Knight of Wands. Take action. That's someone who's got a plan. He's not just like galloping and sending his horse into all kinds of acrobatics for nothing. He's got a mission. He knows what to do. He can't wait to get there. Ooh, the Three of Swords says, yeah, we got some pain ahead of us on this path. I mean, for one, it takes time. You have to do your research. But you know what? We can take shortcuts in research. We talked about the Cliff Notes. I got Cliff Notes for you right here. They're called tarot cards. I mean, if you're not sure, let's ask the tarot world. King of Pentacles. Yeah, that would be leadership. And the economy is involved in that. And so it's kind of important. It's kind of important that we really address what's going on because it's important to everybody. And then we have to go with what we're growing. Whether it's a good business or democracy, we got to keep to it. We've done a good job. We don't need to pretend like we're destroying the old world and throw out old world technology and pretend like it doesn't exist and privatize it and sell it back to us later. Okay. We got to hold on to, we can't allow them to do another, what do they call it? We can't let them do another reset. Can't do it. Okay. No more resets. No more insane asylums. So, well, thank goodness the Sun card showed up and the tarot world says everything's going to be all right, everybody. It's going to take work, but it's going to be worth it. We're going to prize what shines. We're going to go with what grows. And in the end, even though the Eight of Cups says we're walking away, the Ten of Cups says we're going to have long-term security and abundance. Thank you very much, Tarot World. Hey, everybody. The Sun card says everything's going to be okay. We can walk away. Okay. Thanks for joining me. I'm Breakaway Ray. Let's give these cards a toss. We're going to say hi to people in the chat. We'll get out some name tags. If you don't have a name tag, I'm going to make one for you. And then I'm going to let people invite me to throw tarot cards for them. That's so awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate you tuning in and giving me the practice. Thank you, Tarot World. Okay. Yeah. One of those days, one of those wonderful days is starting off great, isn't it? It's going much better now. let's keep it going. I'm getting my mouse. I'm going to scroll up through the chat. I'm going to say hi to friends in the chat. And then I'm going to get out the name tags. And let's see who's here. Dude, there's a lot of people here. Hi, Kimberly Bamford. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, Heavenly Cups. Tuning in from Africa. Thanks for joining us. Okay, well, Heavenly Cups wants the old style deck. Time out. Let me go get that deck. Yeah, I was eyeballing this deck before I turned on the camera. All right, we got to set aside for you here, Heavenly Cups. Let's continue saying hi to people. Namira's here. Hi, Namira, out in the Netherlands. See, we're all over the planet. That's unreal. Lisa Talcott is here. Hi, Lisa Talcott. Everybody's up bright and early. Did I see? Oh, hey, Spider Bite from Down Under. How's it going, Spider Bite? You're really good with the capital letters. You want the Doors deck. Let me go get the Doors deck. Yeah, the Doors deck. Yeah, you know, it's got to be in here. Got it. Tarot of the 72 doors. 78 doors, 78 of them. Okay, good. That's for Spider Bite. Who else is up? So yeah, see capital letters. I read the chat after the show. I'm scouting for tarot requests here. Arizona Raven's here. Hey, Arizona Raven. Yeah, very good. And only if I have time. All right. You made it in above the line. I'm pretty sure I have time. There she is. Stephanie Clark. Welcome back, Stephanie Clark. Who else is here? God's Flow's here. Hi, God's Flow. All right. Hi, Psychic Liz Cross. Good to see you. Are you reading my mind while I'm reading the chat? Can you stop doing that, please? I'm blushing. That's why. Okay, hang on. There's somebody else here. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Arwen's here. Hi, Arwen. Okay, now I got to the line. Somebody else show up there? Yeah, I got Stephanie Clark there. All right, great. Let's get the name tags out. I don't see anybody new. If I didn't say your name, it means I didn't see it. So go ahead and type a message to me in the chat. I don't want to accidentally leave anyone out. Let me go get my name tag box. So I've got some shamrocks and some apples with some names on them. So Arwen's in this pile. So let me get Arwen's shamrock out. There we go. Then we're going old school all the way back to February. I got some Valentines here. And by the way, if you don't want a reading, it's okay for you to type that in the chat also, because now I'm looking at the bottom of the chat. I don't want to give you a reading if you don't want one, right? Maybe you're just here to hang out and have fun with the cool people in the chat. But anyway, let's see what I got here. Yeah, there's Psychic Liz Cross and Stephanie Clark. All right. Now I got a bunch of schoolhouses and cats from Lyra, Lyra. It almost sounds like my name. Right. Like Lisa Talcott. Sorry, everybody. There's quite a few. But I feel like there's one in here. Oh, well, spider bite. I saw Arwen. I don't think I saw Rowie. Rowie, if you're out there, if I missed you, could you send me a message in the chat, please, if it's convenient? All right. Hang on. Schoolhouses. Arizona Raven. There's Heavenly Cups. Kimberly Bamford. Thank you very much for the help in the chat. Thanks for that message, Lisa Talcott. I think you're right. No Rowie today. Thanks for helping me take attendance. Yeah, I know. We all thought we were done with school. So I'll review who I have, and the team can help me with quality control. Well, you know, we're getting a lot of messages about the attendance, and I just want to say I bet that person we're talking about is probably going to watch the show and is here in spirit now. Thanks a lot for joining us. You want to click that like button? Sounds good. But we weren't going to share. Remember, everybody, we weren't going to share because we're going to keep the views in the double digits. Too late now today. I'm teasing. I'm like making a challenge to the spirit world. You guys figure it out. Okay, so I got, hang on, Arizona Raven, Namira, Kimberly Bamford, Heavenly Cups, Spider Bite, Lisa, Stephanie, Arwen, and Psychic Liz Cross. Okay, am I doing all right here? Okay. Well, I'm going to move Psychic Liz Cross to the front of the line. I'm going to hold it like this for the screenshot. Okay, let's move it downstairs and throw some cards for Psychic Liz Cross. If you, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, if you wrote me a message about your tarot request, I didn't read it. I didn't try that hard. You could throw it in the chat now if you want to. What cards? Oh, yeah. For Psychic Liz Cross? Yay. This is what we were waiting for, Breakaway Ray. It's the middle school girls deck. It's the Fantasy Colors deck. Wow. I know I teased a little bit, but these are the girls in middle school. They're in band, they're in theater, they're on student council. They even have their own social media in cooperation with permission by their parents. Okay. They all play softball. They've been doing this stuff since they were in gymnastics and preschool. So these girls are totally awesome. And yeah, these tarot cards are awesome. Look at how beautiful they are. It's like these girls designed them and colored them themselves. I'm going to go along with whatever these girls have to say. Okay. Well, first of all, another nickname I have for this deck is the tie-dye deck, right? Wouldn't you like to have a tie-dye shirt like that if you're going to a Grateful Dead concert in the 20th century? That would look pretty awesome. You'd blend right in. Okay, I need a little more light up here, please. All right, Psychic Liz Cross. I'm so happy you joined me today. Oh, so is today Saturday? All right. On a Saturday morning, you guys are so special to join me. Thank you. Again, is this better than Bugs Bunny cartoons? Come on, I don't know. Here we go. Psychic Liz Cross. Let's throw some cards for you. Life sure seems exciting on your side. Recording all those videos, being a mom, and helping people with readings. Psychic Liz Cross has readings booked out for the next 4 years. Is that correct? I hope I said that correctly. That's incredible. I mean, I guess congratulations are in order, right? You're always going to have work. Okay, so let's throw some more cards for Psychic Liz Cross. She's taught us so much about the spirit world. One more card, please, for Psychic Liz Cross. Here we go, Psychic Liz Cross. Dun, 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 dun. The 10 of Wands. We were just talking about all the things Psychic Liz Cross does. The 10 of Wands represents a lot of work. The King of Swords. So here comes a message, and this message is personified. It's coming to you like in hologram form, Psychic Liz Cross. It's not just like the Ace of Swords, an inanimate object showing up with truth. Okay, it's actually someone saying, I'm carrying this sword. I want to tell you how it is. Okay, you got a lot of stuff going on. I want to tell you what's going on. Check this out, Psychic Liz Cross. Yeah. So you have the Queen of Cups, who is the psychic and the empathic leader. Okay. She represents comfort during the holidays. Okay. To me, anyway. And the Two of Swords, she looks like the lead singer from Missing Persons. Dale Bazio. Yo, Breakaway Ray, bringing out another name from the past. But it's the Two of Swords. She represents crossroads and decisions. And you put these two together, it's very simple to me. Use your psychic gifts when you come to a crossroads and you have to make a decision. Does that sound like something you automatically do? Oh, well, we're not done with your sentence. Hang on. The Six of Wands. Yeah. All right. So this is like a biography and a tarot Instamatic photo of Psychic Liz Cross. She does a lot of stuff, and here's the truth. She gets it all done by making decisions with her intuition, her practice psychic skills, and that's why Six of Wands says you should all be celebrating her in a parade, okay? She's winning, but she's winning for our team. So, bringing us the world is Psychic Liz Cross. Yeah. Make up your own mind. It's the blank card. And then finally, the Hermit. Turning inward for the inner light. Finding direction by turning within. So, like Psychic Liz Cross, everybody, you can open up the invisible world if you turn inward. Thank you for the message, Tarot World and Psychic Liz Cross. You set a good example for all of us, Psychic Liz Cross. I look forward to tuning into your next video. How funny. Yeah, for sure the Tarot World is getting down with us. King of Swords shows up. Yo, this is how it is. Way to go. Whoa. Way to go, tie-dye cards. Just kicking back, being groovy. And they hate Ashbury. Yeah, Kimberly Bamford wrote, sounds just like Liz, and I gotta agree. Nice picture, Tarot World. All right, who's next? I think we go with all the hearts first. Hey, Stephanie Clark. I didn't see that anyone had any particular requests. I'm gonna throw the groovy tie-dye cards for you. Here we go. These cards for Stephanie Clark. I said, okay, Stephanie, I'm getting ready to shuffle, right? And then when I cut, I said these cards for Stephanie Clark. And these two beautiful cards are the Death card and the Sun card. Stephanie Clark, is there something ending, beginning, or transforming? The Tarot World wants you to know it's going to be all right. In fact, if you look beneath, you have the World card and the Ace of Wands. There's going to be a completion, and there's going to be magic in the air. There's going to be an accomplishment and an up-leveling. So let's throw a few more cards for you. Tarot World couldn't wait to share that message with you. I say keep up the good work. You're on a winning streak. Yeah, Stephanie Clark. Is that cool in the gang? Get down on it. Whoops. Funny, this card popped out again while I was shuffling. Stephanie, you're being reassured. Everything's going to be all right. You're going to win. You are winning. Everyone sees you're the winner. Maybe we get the 6 of Wands. It'll be proof. Anyway, good for you. Look at this. Look at this. Knight of Cups. I'm getting ready to shuffle. That's the Knight in Shining Armor. See? All right. Hey, everybody. If Stephanie Clark was something on the stock market, you want to invest. Now's a good time. It's skyrocketing upward. Look at that graph for Stephanie Clark. Let's throw just a couple more for Stephanie Clark. Thanks for tuning in, Stephanie. Good to have you here again. Yeah, we go way back to February. All right, Stephanie Clark, more messages. The 2 of Swords. If you are at a crossroads, wait for all the information to come in. Don't worry. You got all the tools you need to make it happen. Okay. Next up, the 4 of Cups. You're allowed to reflect and be pensive and meditate and consider things. Okay. You're allowed to do that, in my opinion. But 4 of Cups also says, don't forget to appreciate everything the universe is sending you and doing for you. Because guess what? I mean, again, I feel like I'm projecting here, Stephanie Clark. I got so many good things going on, but I can't seem to stop thinking about the gray clouds in the sky. I'm not looking at the silver lining, but I don't think you have anything to worry about. You got the Sun card a bunch of times and the Knight of Cups. So I feel like a lot of things are coming your way. The 5 of Swords. Spoke too soon, did we, Breakaway Ray? You really think you're psychic? The 5 of Swords talks about a winner-take-all attitude. Maybe you're the one who's going to win. And you know what? Ask Magic Johnson about winning. He doesn't love winning as much as he hates losing. So, you got to go for it for sure. Yeah, Ace of Wands. You got to go for it and make that magic happen. You just got the Ace of Wands a moment ago, okay? You got to have that winning attitude. You got to go for the jugular. That's how you win. Don't be sitting there passive. Be active. Okay. Where's the 2 of Wands? Well, you got the 9 of Pentacles. There's a nice picture, Stephanie, of someone who's enjoying the fruits of her labor. Now is your chance. You got all the tools you need to make this happen at this new adventure. You already know how to make the magic happen. You already have that. You already have the eye of the tiger, Stephanie. That's how you got as far as you are. And in conclusion, well, not to say that you're a grizzled veteran with a 9 of Wands, but all the things that you did, all the things that you experienced, all the things that you inadvertently trained for have prepared you for this moment to go forward with all your wands. Show your gifts like those bamboo kiki torches to the world, okay, and light up the party. Way to go, Stephanie. Thanks for inviting me to read. Great to have you here. Have a great weekend. Dun, 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 dun. Let's give these cards a toss. Thank you, Tarot World. I'm so glad. Again, I know I was a little bit reluctant, but yeah. You know I like doing this. Here, these cards are for Arwen. Maybe I should just throw cards for the audience. Arwen, let's throw some more of the. I mean, no one's asking for any other deck. I'm going to play with the tie-dye deck. That's right, tie-dye deck. You're the star of the show right now. These cards are for Arwen. Something tells me I would appreciate having Arwen in class. I believe Arwen pays attention. I'm not sure Arwen did that except as a courtesy for other teachers. Point is, Arwen's attentive in class. We're not here to waste time. Class minutes are precious because I got stuff I want to do after school. So give me the syllabus and let me move on to the next project, please. Here you go. These cards are for Arwen. These cards are for Arwen. I'm thinking of that bridge in, I think it's a north or a Midwest state like Minnesota. And it's a bridge where, it elevates laterally, like the whole shelf that traffic rides upon moves upward. And it stays up at the top so that boats can travel underneath it. I don't know why I'm throwing cards for Arwen and that image came to my mind. But that's a nice image, raising up, making room for traffic to pass. Almost like a matador, allowing the matador energy to pass. Anyway, Arwen, I think all these cards wanted to come out. More fun for me. This is like the ice cream truck parked outside my house here. Okay, I'm going to taste all these delicious popsicles. Here we go, Arwen. Well, the magician card. Someone who knows how to make the magic. You're just waiting for the right opportunity, Arwen. Wow. The lovers and temperance. This would be a long-term relationship, one that is steady, symbiotic, not to say yin and yang too much, but balanced, because you have the temperance angel there. And it's almost like the angels are rooting on this union. Maybe this union was pre-planned, preordained, and part of your soul's path. I don't know. Now, having said all that, this could also be read this way, the way I would like to read it. Hey, yo, you're a magician. Just be cool. The cosmos is on your side. We're going to give you an opportunity. The time is coming for you to use your magic. We're watching. We're encouraging you to stay cool. Hang with us. We got it under control. The Knight of Swords. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Charge. Now we're ready for you to go forward. Make the magic happen. 7 of Pentacles. Go with what you're growing. Are you throwing tarot cards? Are you palm reading? Are you life coaching? Think about the people that you've affected positively in the last 3 weeks. What was it that you did with all of those people? That's the place to start. That's the place to build your business. Arwen, I have no idea why I'm saying the things I'm saying. To move on with your reading, we have the 10 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. Wow. The 10 of Swords says it's the end of a painful episode, and we don't blame you for feeling like the 5 of Cups. It's a big disappointment. Okay, we're all allowed to grieve. You're allowed to grieve. If there's something, if it's done, you let it all out, get it over with. Make it just like some story, that's in another chapter in your autobiography, because you still got more cards. You still have more adventures coming. Okay, but obviously there's going to be some kind of message where you take that disappointment and you take those pains and those trials and you turn it into experience that either benefits you or others or everybody. Remember all those people you helped in the last 3 weeks. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Justice card. All right. I didn't say the Wheel of Fortune card, but I did talk about timing, right? The Wheel of Fortune says now it's time. And not only that, it's the right time. It's the Justice card. So it sounds like a big transformation, and you're almost like crawling out of a foxhole. But the war is over, and now you're ready. Look at the image of the Wheel of Fortune and the Justice card. You're here to serve justice. You're taking names and you're kicking other things around. This is justice for you. This is what they were waiting for. They were waiting for you to finish your training, because you're the Knight of Cups. You're the Knight in shining armor. There you go. Go get him, Arwen. We're all rooting you on. That's sweet. Yeah, go Tarot World. I like encouraging messages like that. I mean, we could pump up Arwen, and now we can all feel pumped up for Arwen. Hey, everybody, let's get pumped up for Arwen. It's only Saturday morning, and she's going to take on the world. Go get him, Arwen. All right. Who do we get here? Okay, I'm going to shuffle these cards. Thank you very much, Tarot World and Tie-Dye Deck. All the guidance from the middle school girls are so sharp. Good for them. You girls picked out a nice deck of cards. Old Grandpa Breakaway Ray is down with it. Let's get another contestant. Let's go with Spider Bite. Here goes. Oh, but Spider Bite wanted the Doors cards. Wait till you see this deck. Tarot of the 78 Doors. Yo, I don't even know what day of the week it is. So Kimberly Bamford has corrected me. It's Friday. Yeah. That's... and, I'm just some guy on the internet, and I'm telling you about things you should do in your life. I don't even know what day of the week it is. So please use discernment, everybody. All right. Hey, Spider Bite. Thanks for inviting me to use the Crazy Doors cards. We have fun with these or what? Right on, Arwen. Thank you for your message. And Kimberly Bamford, thanks a lot I appreciate the help. Isn't that funny? We're having a good time here. I love it. But these cards are for Spider Bite. All right, Spider Bite. Some Doors cards for you. We're going to break away through to the other side. These cards are for Spider Bite. Here we go. Cards for Spider Bite, please. Does Spider Bite have interesting messages or what? Ooh, that was quite a cluster. That's going to be a tough one. Okay, we'll give you two more, Spider Bite. Here we go. You know what? I got to get this deck. Really? All right. Here we go, Spider Bite. It's all for entertainment purposes only. Boy, talk about entertaining. Let's check out the Doors cards. I'm going to need my magnifying glass. Where'd it go? Hang on. What? I feel like the tarot world is taunting me right now. You didn't want to wake up today, huh? Okay. So we're starting off with the Ace of Cups, a brand new life. That's a scene of a baptism. Next up. Wow, trippy. We have the Devil card, the Tower card, and the Empress card. All right, we got a brand new life. And then the Devil, you know, maybe something representative of the devil or darkness or shadow shows up. Okay. Or basically, it's a brand new life. We let go of the old life. The old life came crashing down. Doesn't matter now because I'm the Empress. That's the Empress card. Speaking of the Empress, oh, I beg your pardon. Speaking of the Pope today, here's the Doors version of the Pope, the Hierophant. There's a picture of the Pope. Social acceptance, learning, Anunnaki-style leadership, programming from the cosmos, channeled through a human, wearing a crown, perhaps. Next up, the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups, you know, that's a partnership, and that's communication. And for me, it's almost like a punctuation mark, like a quotation mark and message. Okay, so hey, Spider Bite, here's a story. You know, there was a brand new life, or a brand new life began because we let a dark life go, a shadowy life go behind us. We didn't let it go all the way because we're the Empress. We integrated it into our life. That was quite a challenge to do when the whole world was coming down around us at the same time. So it's a real story of pulling oneself up by one's bootstraps. Okay, you know, it wasn't easy to begin with. It wasn't a level playing field, and they were throwing stuff at you at the same time. But you were calm, cool, and reserved. You monitored everything, and you kept your emotions cool, and you channeled your energies when you needed them to. And now you're the boss. Now, like you're the Pope of your own life. Okay, not to say you follow your own rules, but you follow a higher order of thinking than just the daily 3D rigmarole, what people want to get away with, what people believe passes for entertainment. And that is a message from the spirit world. You did a good job during this tumultuous time to move past it. Okay, now you're at the top of your game. The last two cards, Spider Bite. It's the King of Swords and the Death card. The King of Swords is, again, the guy that says, I think the King of Swords is actually coming out like a doctor. And, you know, sometimes a doctor comes out and he gives you a diagnosis. So this is like the King of Swords saying, hey, here's the real story. And the Death card says there was an ending, a beginning, and a transformation. There was an ending and a beginning and a transformation. The tarot world recognizes this, Spider Bite. That's the truth. It was a transformation. You've accelerated your maturity level and your emotional intelligence quotient. Way to go, Spider Bite. If you're looking to adopt a 59-year-old grandson, I want you to know that I'm on the market. I mean, because the cards are very revelatory about your kind of character. And I like my grandma's experienced. I would love to hear what they have to say. I trust their wisdom. Okay, next up. Thank you, Tarot World. That was totally awesome. Lisa Talcott. Oh, Lisa Tailcat. Here we go. And we're going to switch back to the girl deck. We like these colors. Here we go, Lisa. These cards are for you. Another one, busy transforming her life on the outside of STARCARD podcast. She's got a notebook open. She's making notes. She's making advances. She's seeing more synchronicities throughout the day. Everything seems to mean something. There's a ringing in her left ear. Won't go away. I'm like guessing. I don't know if I'm close, Lisa. Maybe I'm just projecting what's going on with me, but these cards are for you, Lisa. These cards for Lisa Tailcat. A little Lyran energy and lovely colors. Here we go. These cards are for Lisa. How fun. I'm thinking of Orange Dreamsicle right now. Orange Dreamsicle, Popsicle. Orange Dream Machine. Thank you, Juice Shop. The Judgment card. We talked about how Lisa Tailcat is transforming her life. She's having an awakening. That's what the Judgment card's about, awakening. And the Judgment card talks about, swapping out an old life for a new one, like the invasion of the body snatchers. Remember those pods that came from outer space? You get a brand new body. I know, I made it sound cool. It was a horror movie. Okay, next up, Lisa Tailcat. Watch out, Lisa Tailcat. It's 2 dogs from the Moon card and the Queen of Pentacles. You're using your intuition and your spiritual gifts to make money. It's actually a career now. What a surprise for you. No one expected that to happen. The King of Cups. You're going to be a leader in your field if you're not already. You need lots of people in Congress because lots of people know lots of things. More brains are better than one. And I'd like to refer everyone to the example I keep making about the cabinet, the group of advisors that Presidents Kennedy and Lincoln had. These people were all experts. They were opinionated. They were headstrong leaders. And both Lincoln and Kennedy wanted that. They didn't want yes men. They wanted the most qualified people in their field, giving them the best advice, even if it was unpopular. Okay? Because when they want what's best for the country. So anyway, people will be looking at you. You know your stuff. What's in that cup, by the way, Lisa? What is in that cup? And the 5 of Swords. After this glowing set of drama, okay, we close the sentence with the 5 of Swords, but it's not the end, okay? We are using the 5 of Swords from this deck to talk about having a go for it, a winner-take-all attitude. And for me, that message is, you got to go for it now. You got to go for the jugular. All those things I said about Magic Johnson, okay? Those middle school girls who accomplish so much, they're not worried about school bullies. They're going to help the bully get their goals accomplished, okay? Because we know how to win. We know how to win together. Boy, you got a lot of teammates and a lot of friends. You know how to network. Lisa Talcott, the 5 of Wands, it's another card like the 5 of Swords. You got to want it. You got to go for the jugular. Now's the time to go win. By the way, 5 of Wands says it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to explain things to people who are not going to understand what you're talking about. And you have to be able to stand your ground and also illustrate in elementary school language what it is that's going on. I did say elementary school language. Okay. Am I criticizing the intelligence of people in the United States? Yes. Okay. Is it their fault? No. Public education failed people in the United States. Anyway, that's a topic for another show, maybe. In conclusion, Lisa Tailcat, Yeah. You have the Six of Swords and the Ten of Wands. The Six of Swords says you're being guided from rougher waters to calmer waters by a divine hand. All this drama and adventure that has set you up for this big transformation that you've been going through, yeah, it was all part of your life plan. And guess what? You're not done. The Ten of Wands says there's a lot more work coming your way. Maybe that's like a good thing. Like our friend Psychic Liz Cross, she's booked out the next 4 years. Okay, that's what you want. You want to fill your appointment book with lots of customers. And it'll all be gravy because you're going to have more than one income coming in. I don't know if I said that right. Again, I don't know why I say the things I say. I hope it's all going well for you, Lisa. It's so special that you would join me at StarCard. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. Thank you, Tarot World. It sounds like you're on fire, Tarot World. You're delivering very accurate messages. Did I miss Arizona Ravens Schoolhouse? No, I didn't. Heavenly Cups. There's Arizona Raven. Yeah, so I've got like 4 more, everybody. Here we go. Arizona Raven. I'm going to go spice things up with the retro deck for Arizona Raven. But I'm going to leave these cards in view. Here we go, Arizona Raven. Here's some retro cards for you. These cards for Arizona Raven. Go on, Tarot World. You're on fire. 100% correct. I don't know how many tarot readers get comments like that in their chat. Let me tell you, it's worth every penny. These cards are for Arizona Raven. Appreciate your support. You and Spider-Bite have been around for a long time in Breakaway Ray's life on air, on camera. All right. These cards for Arizona Raven. Yay, Arizona Raven. It's the Hierophant, another picture of the Pope. Good show. I'm the Pope of Gorgonzola, but you're the Pope of whatever you're the Pope of. So everyone, really, if you're one of Arizona Raven's friends or family or associates and you're watching this, will you please listen to Arizona Raven? Okay, there's a reason why she's sitting on that chair. Next, it's the Nine of Pentacles, fruits of your labor. You know what to do with the fruits of your labor, or you know who to call upon for solid advice. In fact, why don't you call on this guy, the Knight of Cups? That's right, the Knight in shining armor. Is there some kind of good investment coming out here? I'm going to ride the market up. It is the Queen of Cups. Well, there might be pentacles involved, but this is all about intuition and psychic powers. This sounds a little bit like Lisa Talcott's reading a little bit. You know what to do and the whole operation. There's no King of Wands out here, but you see the big picture and the invisible world. That's why it's so important for you to be the leader and the Knight in shining armor for everybody. And like Breakaway Ray says, again, Queen of Cups, you also represent a Queen of Cups, someone who understands everyone has emotions as well, but you all have to work together as a network, like a mound of ants working collaboratively. Well, congratulations on your leadership position. It took you a long time to get to where you're at. Here's the last 3 cards from the retro deck. Hooray. The Six of Wands. Go forward and celebrate your victory, Arizona Raven, because the Seven of Wands, that's the Six of Wands, because the Seven of Wands says you overcame many challenges and you continue to do so. And the Eight of Wands says maybe you want to take a trip. Maybe there's travel involved. Maybe there's flight involved, but also maybe it's happening right now. So right now, don't forget to remember your victory and how you overcame all these challenges. People are going to like gaslight you. Why are you in charge? Why do you think you know what you're doing? You just need to, I'm folding my arms. You shouldn't do that. You're the Queen of Cups. You know a better way to handle people who say things like that. Okay. You're going to help them understand. And they're going to be another valued part of your network. I hope I got all that right, Arizona Raven. Thanks for inviting me to read. Thank you, Tarot World. These are great cards. Great cards. Hey, Lisa, thank you very much for your message in the chat. Hey, Stephanie Clark. She says, you would be a young Grandpa Ray. All right, I'm almost 60. Anyway, let's find out who the next. Well, if I was an adult of 20 and my child of 20 also had a child, okay, there you go. I'm a grandpa. Hey, way to go, Arizona Raven. I appreciate your feedback also. I got to tell you, very rewarding and mystifying at the same time to get these comments in the chat about the accuracy of the tarot reading. Thank you very much. Hey, Heavenly Cups, you wanted the old style deck. Speaking of Breakaway Ray, these old style tarot cards are designed by Alexander Ray. Yeah, no relation. Oh, hey, everybody. Did you tune in to not only one of my top viewed podcasts? Watch, you'll see the view count. Okay. But did you also tune into my longest program ever? Because it's already at 2 hours and 6 minutes. 2 hours and throwing tarot cards and telling stories about how cool I am. All right, Breakaway Ray. Way to start your day. Here we go, Heavenly Cups. These cards are for you. We're going old style with Breakaway Ray, old school with old Breakaway Ray. But young Heavenly Cups. I'm not psychic at all. I had no idea Heavenly Cups was as young as Heavenly Cups actually is. I thought Heavenly Cups was maybe in my generation. In any case, it was a delightful video meeting, Heavenly Cups. Thanks for inviting me. Were you getting some extra cards here? Okay. We'll throw 2 more for you. I know Kimberly Bamford likes the long shows. Thank you, Kimberly. I do appreciate that encouraging comment. You know, I don't want to say I get self-conscious. Anyway, here we go. These cards are for Heavenly Cups. Starting off with the 8 of Swords, one of my favorite cards. As much as you can imagine, this is a manifestation message. And this is a long-term view message. It's the 2 of Cups and another picture of the Pope. I don't think that's the Pope of Gorgonzola Cheese. All right, the 2 of Cups is also my message. Wow. That says that this is a message from the spirit world. It's like the old-fashioned collect calls. This is a collect call from the spirit world. Will you accept the charges? Yes, we will. Okay, hang on. Let's go through because there's a big buildup of messages coming here. We have the King of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups, and a blank card. The King of Pentacles is like the sugar daddy with the goblet, okay? And the 5 of Cups is the disappointment card. I don't know. Am I projecting here? Because I definitely feel this way. This is not how you're supposed to talk, everybody, right? This is not true manifestation talk. I already want to be the King of Pentacles. Thank you for my millions of dollars now. I'm not going to be disappointed that I don't see it yet, okay? I got a long way to go, and the universe has it in store for me. The King of Pentacles is sitting on it. King of Pentacles is my divine accountant, my divine financial manager. There's no need for me to be disappointed here. I know times are tough. You got what you need. Make do with the cards we give you. Yeah, you gave me a blank card. That's right. Look around. Use your imagination. You can make anything happen. Hang on. We're not done with your very detailed message, Heavenly Cups. 4 of Pentacles. Prize what shines, and yeah, be frugal. That's something, believe it or not, I know I didn't sound like it today. My life sounded opulent and ostentatious, okay? But we all have lessons to learn about managing money. And if you're a young person, may I say generally speaking, people need to learn lessons about managing money. What if someone was thrust through social media onto a scene where millions of people are paying attention to them and they can't manage their finances, right? If they can't take care of their own lives, okay, who's going to listen to them offer advice about theirs? So we'll come back to all this. Let's go to the last part of the message. So we've got the 4 of Cups, yeah, and the High Priestess. Hey, Heavenly Cups, let me tell you what one of my favorite things is second guessing my spirit guides and my life plan and the whole reason I came down here. That's the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is like reconsidering and meditating, but not recognizing all the gifts that the universe has brought us. Okay. And that's why the high priestess is there. Okay. To say this is all a spiritual game to expand your consciousness, to up level your spirit. It has almost nothing to do with the people in our lives in the 3D world, except for their energies and the adventures that they're going through too. So, Heavenly Cups, okay, as much as you can imagine, here comes a message from your learned spirit guides and your higher self. If you want to imagine Heavenly Cups' higher self dressed like the Pope right now, okay, here's the deal. Yeah, there's money on the way. Obviously, we're starting out small. We're going to manage what we got. Let's see what you can do with your imagination. Follow your intuition. You should be fine. You can expect the King of Pentacles on the horizon. But you got the blank card. It's like you have carte blanche. Carte blanche, okay? Credit card, no limit. Paid for by the universe because you have a connection to creator source. Is that the term that they use? Let's put that blank card right there. That's like a wild card. Nice. So Four of Pentacles, let's manage our money to begin with. And don't fret the hard times, okay? You're going to get everything you need as part of the plan. Way to go, Tarot World. I don't know how many witches, wizards, and magicians you're sending me. I hope I'm offering them good messages. Appreciate this opportunity. Go get them, Heavenly Cups. You're welcome, Heavenly Cups. Got your message. Thank you very much. Thank you, Tarot World. Whoa. The Empress. Another picture of Heavenly Cups. And then the Emperor, you're in charge. And then who's that? The Queen of Wands. You're a mystic. Heavenly Cups. Still getting messages from the tarot cards. They can't stop talking to you. You two need to get together. Has a tarot card shown up in Africa for you yet? I hope so. Or make your own. Look it up online. You can make your own. What did I do with these cards? Check it out. These two cards landed on top for you again, Heavenly Cups. You want a penny saved is a penny earned. Attributed to Benjamin Franklin. Thank you, Tarot World. That's a lot of messages for our friend Heavenly Cups. And now, how about Kimberly Bamford? Whoa. Kimberly Bamford. Going to go back to the Robin Wood deck. Here we go. These cards are for Kimberly Bamford, dedicated StarCard podcast viewer and subscriber. Thank you so much for your subscription, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're still listening after 2 hours and 13 minutes, wow. Why couldn't you live like in my neighborhood? We'll go play Frisbee or bocce or something. I would invite you to my party. Okay. That's right. Here we go. These cards are for Kimberly Bamford. Having a good time on the internet with my digital friends. Okay, this one. All right. Okay, I saw that card. I peeked. So I'm definitely going to pull a follow-up here. I mean, if you want to throw that card, I hope you follow it up with something nice. Yay. How about the star card? Did you see this? You didn't see this. Kimberly, I took a sneak peek and they were giving me the Three of Swords, which I'm happy to say is already upside down because you're watching StarCard Podcast. Let's see the rest of, let's go like this. Give her a little beach outfit to wear there. An upside down Three of Swords. Take that, Three of Swords. Kimberly Bamford. Okay, the Devil card. We're leaving something behind. Good job letting go. The Sun card says, you can see clearly now the rain is gone. You can see all obstacles in your way. You know what song I'm singing. Well, sing it. It's a good song. Put you in the right mood. It's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. The Eight of Cups. Yeah, we're walking away. Yo, that's life. Life has different chapters. Just like your TV has different channels. Time to watch a new program. I'm using a lexicon. I'm guessing Kimberly Bamford has heard before, like from older people in her family. Which program is on the television tonight? Okay. Here you go. The 6 of Wands. Look at you riding to victory. Everyone's recognizing, you've moved past whatever it was. It was a good adventure, good and bad mixed together. We all learned it was a blessed experience. As much as you can imagine, you are winning. By the way, may I compliment you on your composure and poise as you ride in the parade and everyone watches you win. Did you win? Yeah, you overcame heartache. You were inspired in part by watching STARCARD podcast with Breakaway Ray. And then you recognize your skills as the high priestess. You were in greater contact with your higher self and your spirit guides. And now you're doing a much better job of manipulating reality to benefit you and those around you. And so the King of Swords says, that's the truth. I'm here to tell you. That's the truth, Kimberly Bamford. Okay. Way to go. Great adventure. Thank you, Tarot World, for that special, extra precise message. Again, can't believe I say the things I'm saying when the camera's on. Sure is crazy, wonderful, and fun. Hang on, we're almost done here. Namira is next. Hey, look what I got here, Kimberly Bamford. The Justice card and the 8 of Swords. As much as you can imagine, that's justice. Wow, you win some, you lose some. You still trot off the field. When the game is over, you shake hands in the hockey game. It's done. Namira. We're going to go old style. It's got some flowery imagery there. Okay. And we still get to look at the tie-dye color over here. Here we go, Namira. Right? My last one, I think. Hope I got everybody. Way to go, Kimberly. Thank you for your message. What is going on here? Wow, I messed up a shuffle. How interesting. Oh, no big deal. It's all going to come out in the wash. So you know what I'm going to do? I mean, I close my eyes when I shuffle and deal anyway, so what do I care? Here we go. These cards are for Namira. All right, Namira, thanks for joining us. Thanks for your support all the way on another continent. Wow. Also, Namira, you're very welcoming. Obviously, I've done a lot of readings for you, right? Thanks for allowing me to visit you with the tarot cards. These cards are for you. And I'd like to point out that the deck actually has the blank card on top, okay, with the Ace of Cups. Okay, so maybe... the blank card is saying anything can happen. There could be a new life, something right around the corner, a new passion, a new joy right around the corner. Anything can happen. We don't know what all these cards are in what order in the tarot deck. Okay, so here we go. Starting off with the 7 of Wands. Sure feels like we took on a lot of challenges. We're still standing on top. We still look good. Okay, and now people know better not to mess with us. The 6 of Cups says, even though there were challenges, it was a lot of fun. It's like playing a game. You had a good time playing the game. Intergenerational cooperation over there. Someone looking very matriarch-like. Okay. Here at StarCard Podcast, we celebrate grandmas. Okay. Speaking of grandmas, how about a high priestess? Okay. Someone who's very in touch with the spirit world. Very powerful, mysterious, whose powers are mysterious and unknown. She's the quiet girl in class, and nobody knew just how powerful she was. And the 8 of Wands says travel. It says flight. It also says it's happening right now. Maybe we had some kind of an epiphany. I went through all these experiences. I had a lot of good times, but wait a minute. Look at what I'm coming to realize right now. This whole experience, the 9 of Cups says, has been a wish come true. I know not all of it was fun, but really, I'm 100% more me and happier now and understand myself better than I could have if those other things didn't happen to me. Because you know what? I know how to be a hermit and turn inward and find my higher self and communicate with God. So, Namira, it's okay, the Devil card says, to let it go. Hey, Namiro, was that dramatic? Tarot World, thank you very much for visiting and being a great guest speaker. So much fun throwing cards, everybody. I had so much fun already, and dawn is just breaking here in California. Well, you made my day. Now get out there and make your own day. My name is Breakaway Ray. Now turn off all your media. I'll see you next time on StarCard Podcast. That's good stuff.